Alright, welcome back. This is part 2 of the Earthbound Beginner Guide for any percent glitchless. Glitchless, my goodness, I still can't talk. Alright, so in this segmented video, or part of the run, we are going from Saturn Valley, before we fight Belch, up until Summers when the Skyrunner crashes there. Alright, who's ready to deal with Belch's base? Oh yeah, you want to be careful with that little guy, because he's like gonna trap you in. Sometimes there can be ducks that like spawn at this point, and they'll either run towards you or run away. All the ducks do is like make things spin or make you lose concentration so you can't like use your PSI attacks. I think I was like reading chat and I headed up there by accident. So yeah, you just want to make your way back, like I said, either stutter the roaches or despawn them. Give Guy a big hug for me, Crystal, please. So yeah, I think here I stuttered past the roach. The roaches are, I want to say they're the easiest enemies to stutter step past. So, if you want to, like, get some practice, like, yeah, you can deal with them, or like I said, in Giant Step, and on it, go there. Oh, here, this is where it gets scary. Like I said, you're just gonna have to take an encounter if you get pincered. These zombies, you can bash them. Don't use fire, especially if there's like a heart or playing crocodile. Use freeze on the crocodile and then bash with Jeff and Ness on the zombie. Paula outspeeds them, so she's gonna hit first and get rid of that guy, and it's gonna be a lot less painful to deal with. Yeah, and then you can just auto-fight if there's a zombie left and have everyone bash it out. And then here's another Fuzzy Pickles. This one we can't avoid. Because, we kind of have to get into Belch's base. Still recording. It's like, wait, I hit record, right? Alright, so here, this is the password. It's sit still for 3 minutes, so here's the break that you can have for 3 minutes. I'll use the bathroom if you have to. Go get water, stay hydrated. It's your friendly reminder to stay hydrated. Or you can do a Q&A with your audience. Whatever works. Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, that's totally what I mean. Go to the bathroom and get the water from the toilet. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's what it always feels like going to, like, events, especially speedrunning events. It's just, you feel like you're gonna be super shy or awkward. And it's like, man, I feel like I've known these people all of my life. It works for you. Well, I don't recommend it to anyone else. My kitties. Such a nice, relaxing run. I mean, this game is I think it's pretty difficult, but once you get used to it, like executing, like menuing and memorizing things, then the run becomes a lot more fun. Yeah, I was able to catch some of Kios's, and then, I think I'm just gonna- I wanted to watch Kizaron's, but I was feeling too sick, so I just, like, fell asleep right after I finished streaming that night. Say hello to kitties. Oh my god, Cliff, no. I mean, sure, it's part of RNG Manip, Kane. You can just sit here and, like, relax, do nothing. You don't want too much blood in your arms for the next part, exactly. It could mess with your stutter stepping. So yeah, after they say you may enter, you just hit okay and then continue on. Here, I'm gonna show you guys something. There's these little foppies on the side. You can fight them, they're not necessary, they're just EXP balloons, you know, other runners call them. But if you decide that you're gonna despawn them, you have to be careful with this little slimy pile. And by the way, he's just gonna ask you if you have the jar of fly honey, and you tell him yes. If you accidentally say no to him, you have to fight him. And if that's the case, just use freeze, beta, and bash with the other characters. But he also has a chance to call for help, so it's not recommended. So if any of the characters didn't level up prior to this, or you feel like they could use more experience, just fight the foppies. If it's 3 or more, use Fire with Paula and Rockin' with Ness. If there are just 2 of them, hit a freeze alpha with one of them, and then bash the other one with Jeff and Ness, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, if you try to despawn these guys, this little slimy pile right here will keep trapping you, and that's what I'm gonna show. Like, that's what I did on the video. But yeah, they're not really a pain to fight. Like, they're not lethal or threatening whatsoever. It can be when they just choose to attack instead of, like, try to use brain shock or whatever. But yeah, you'll see what happens. See, he kind of, like, traps you. You get stuck. It's real annoying. And he just kind of chases you around. So they spawn up here, and then they spawn at the bottom of the ladder. So yeah, I think, like, I tried to despawn them. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, okay, it's just one, and then there's, like, 5 million at the bottom that show up. So yeah, like I said, just rockin', fire, and then defend with death. Alright, Crystal, take your time. So yeah, here you're just gonna want to keep despawning. There are flies that show up other slimy piles. You can stutter past the slimy piles, but it's a really tight squeeze, so I don't recommend it. I would say don't take any of the floppy fights in this part of the area, like in this first half. So where that ladder is, like if there are any that spawn up there, or like in the next little segment, then sure, take the floppy fights. But if they're anywhere like on this area, just try to despawn them. Okay, I somehow got a green. I think it's because Jeff caught the back of the first one. Sorry about all that jumping around. It's my cat. Climbing down from the kitty tower onto the TV. Puppies. Yeah, if it's one floppy, just auto fight. So there's gonna be this one slimy pile. Also, in that door, there's a butterfly that spawns in the room. So say if you took like too many encounters during your walk to this area, and Paula or Ness are low or have no psychic points, you can just go in and out of the room and spawn the butterfly and replenish. But yeah, there's a slimy pile that's gonna be on the left side before you enter the room where Belch is. And what you want to do with him to skip that fight is just kind of drag him to the bottom, and then you're gonna stutter up and then stutter to the left and up into the room. If there are any flies that spawn, I recommend talking to that little slimy pile as quickly as possible, because if the fly fights you, and if there are any other enemies there, like any excessive slimy piles, they'll join the fight. So if there's like 2 of them, they're gonna go in with that fly, and that's not fun. It's not fun. These fights are also scripted, so you can't run away from them. So it's just a suggestion. Be careful, because this part is a little heavy with the spawns, with the slimy piles mainly. So yeah, if you fight by accident anyone except for this slimy pile, then the others will join in. And the slimy piles also call for help. Is that RNG? Yep. RNG right here. Welcome back, Crystal. Okay, so for the Belch fight, what you're gonna want to do is defend with Ness and Jeff. I would say queue up an attack, but they can outspeed Paula, so if they do, whatever damage they do to Belch isn't gonna take effect until after you use the jar of fly honey. So just defend and go into the inventory with Paula and use it. And then after that, if you have like bottle rockets left over with Jeff, use them. Use freeze beta with Paula, and then rockin' with Ness. And this is where we use the refreshing herb, the first one. So if any one of the characters get poisoned, just use it on them with Ness. Not the burping. I think I just defended us there and then used another freeze. But yeah, if you don't use the jar of fly honey, then it's a never-ending battle with Belch. So here we're gonna use the exit mouse, and it's gonna take us back to the beginning of Belch's base, and we'll just make our way down to 3 again. And there are gonna be 2 items you're gonna want to pick up on the way. It's the picnic, or is that the protein? No, okay, it's the protein drink. And then the skip sandwich DX. There's a equipment that you can pick up. It's a bracelet. It's also in 3 Cave. You don't have to, but if you want to buy it, or if you want to get it and then sell it to get extra money, you can. I think it's worth like around $200, $300. So yeah, this present. Yeah, it's the protein drink. And we're gonna have a list for items we need in Monkey Cave, so pay attention. Because if you don't have those items, then you're gonna have to backtrack and get them. Okay, here I think it was like a little bunch of ants, and then I thought I was gonna get pincered, but there was that one little ant, so I just decided to stutter past it. So we couldn't really despawn him with the frog at the top. I like that emote shield. It's really cute. Yeah, that limit break mac and cheese, man, it got him real sick. Pidge was fine, but guy got sick. Alright, so in this room, or not this one, it's the big room that has the casket. That's where the band is. And we can sell that later for a few extra bucks. Then the skip sandwich DX, we're gonna save that for Monotali building. Okay. What? So yeah, here we can just like squeeze through these people, and then we go to the bus. We take the bottom bus station or bus stop, and that's because that one heads to the desert M4 side, while the top one takes us back to Tucson. Alrighty, Cliff. Oh, you guys went on a hike. That's very nice. Hope that was fun. Alright. So, this is where we're gonna do that walk to despawn a mole. And, let me pause it real quick. There's this shop right here. So say you did not pick up that skip sandwich in, the Happy mansion. You can buy a skip sandwich here. So just remember that. So to despawn this mole, we walk up to this grass patch. We stay below the line, and then you just walk up to where that grass is, a little dry patch, and then the mole despawns, or he doesn't show up. But yeah, you just want to stay low, be careful with enemies. And we're gonna pick up this big bottle rocket coming up on the right. And we're gonna use that for one of the moles in Mole Cave. And then just give it to Jeff. And then him, it's important. You have to talk to him and give him food. Because if you don't, then we can't get into Mole Cave and progress. So you just go to Paula's inventory. She has this bread roll since like you first get her, and just give it to her. Oh, that skip sandwich was an extra one. So I just dropped it. Also, when you're walking through the tunnels and on the bridge, stay low, because there's another picture that, it's either on this side or on the next part. It's probably up here that you can trigger, so yeah, don't walk up. That crazy bag lady I told you about. There's the annoying old party man. So yeah, if you see those blue people in the towns, run away from them. Oh yeah, also, if you don't have enough money, for the show tickets, you can go into the hotel. Each show ticket is $30, so that's 60 total, but that's not including like the bus ride that you're gonna have to take later on. So if anything, just take out like 100, 120 or something. Or if you feel like you should use more, then just take out more. So when we get to Forsyth, we just want to make our way to the theater and go talk to the manager because the Runaway Five got in trouble again. And we have to do this in order for the Mole Cave sequence to begin. So after that, you just exit and then go back to the desert. Here, I'm gonna show you something that doesn't really happen. I mean, it could, especially, like I said, for new runners or people who don't really pay attention. Just, like, pay attention to the chat while they're running the game. We get into an encounter, and I think we managed to run away. Because if you die at any point after Belch's base, you're gonna revive back at Belch's base because that was the last checkpoint of the game. So, yeah, just be careful with that. So it's either you revive after you die at the last checkpoint or at the last place you saved. So here, I saw these two scorpions, and I was like, oh, cool, and then I didn't see the buffalo, so I got into the encounter, so the buffalo was, like, immediately aggroed. Yeah, Apollo went out first. It's either I won the battle or I ran away. Okay, that's what happened. So yeah, whenever your characters die, like especially in this part, like before you reach Mole Cave, just go back and revive them. Like it's really sad that that happened, but the desert, man. It's better just to do this. I don't recommend using the refreshing herb again either. Just let Ness die if he got poisoned. That's what I did. And then, go take out more money from the hotel ATM and go revive the kids. Yeah, it's like a little bit of an off track, and it can happen. Like it's not gonna happen every run, and like if you're a new runner, it's probably gonna happen too, like just by mistake. Like, oh hey, I'm not really paying attention to the game, or it's just you're like, yeah, I can stutter past these enemies, but then there's another one that like is off screen or like magically spawns and then starts chasing after you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But like what Maxwell said, you gotta keep a positive attitude, gotta keep pushing. And not all first runs are great, so don't let that discourage you. But yeah, the hospital here, you go up to the Monotoli building and you just head straight up left. So there we go, the kids were revived. I think, yeah, I did a life up on him just in case he was damaged or hurt. But yeah, a way to check if your HP is full or low, you just hit A and then you go to the status menu, and it'll show how much HP you have out of your max HP. There's also taxis and signs that show up, so that's why I walked up to avoid the crazy taxi, the mad taxi. So they rev up their engines and run over the kids and do a lot of damage. So you want to avoid going back to the hospital like right after you got them revived again, brought back from being unconscious. So again, be careful when you walk up here. And we're gonna head to the left to the little shack. And we're gonna heal and then save. It's pretty important to save out here. So here we go. Mole Cave is another place where, let me just pause it and then I'll explain that dad call. It's another place where you don't have to be perfect at stutter stepping, but you have to know how to stutter step. There's gonna be a lot of snakes that show up, a lot of ants that show up, and you're just gonna want to stutter past them and not have to despawn them all the time, because there are like high spawn rates in this cave with those two enemies, along with ducks and noosemen, which we'll get to at a certain point. So if you haven't practiced stuttering, I mean, you could practice in here, but like I said, just go back to the beginning of the game and practice stutter stepping in that first cave, because that's where it'll definitely help out the most. There's also another thing. It's the dad call. He calls you with every 2 hours of playing the game. That doesn't include when you restart a file or do a reset. So every 2 hours you're playing the game, he's gonna call you. So I guess that's like a good way to check like how good your run is, or you know, how bad or how decent, whatever it may be. He's gonna call you at that 2 hour mark. But yeah, as far as like the other enemies, you just want to despawn them. Oh, Mighty Myth, how you doing? So yeah, if they spawn too low, like you can't go any lower to despawn them, you're gonna have to exit the cave and then come back in. Snakes. This isn't Mole Cave, it's Snack Cave. Look at all these snakes. But yeah, like enemies, like I said, you can just stutter past them and then they'll get stuck in like a corner or a wall and they won't be able to catch up to you. So here we go, we're gonna fight the first mole. We're gonna defend with Ness. And then Paula's gonna use Freeze, and you're gonna use a big bottle rocket with Jeff. Here, you're gonna have to mash. Mash your little heart out, or big heart, however big your heart or small it may be. Mash it. Because Paula has a chance to solidify when she uses her freeze attack. And say if the mole attacks her first, and then she uses freeze, and say like, oh, she solidified him, like, she's probably gonna die, because that's extra text that shows up. And, there's no real way to, like, avoid it. It's just, it'll either happen or it won't happen. Or, I think it's if she goes first. No, yeah, it's definitely if he attacks first, because if she attacks first, then it'll be okay if she solidifies him, because then he won't get his turn. So yeah, it's a little dangerous in here, and I'll talk about a backup once we get to that part of Mole Cave, but you just have to be careful, and like I said, mash the A and L button. So we defend, freeze beta, and then use the big bottle rocket. Mark of the Demon. Yeah, all the moles here, you'll notice they're on number 3. They're the 3rd strongest. Yeah, what's up, 7th? How's it going? But yeah, leveling up for like Paula and Jeff are pretty crucial at this point, especially Paula, because you want her to have that HP to survive those mole hits just in case. Here you go, here are those dang snakes again. So yeah, it's like, it's not too hard to stutter. You don't have to do perfect stutters in order to get away from enemies. It's just nice to be able to. So that way it's like not a constant despawn. Spaces are too tight, don't stutter step. Here we get another big bottle rocket and give it to Jeff. And it'll be the same like fight sequence with the second mole, where Ness defends, Paula freezes, and then Jeff uses the big bottle rocket. So we'll just like make our way back up there. So I was pretty amazed because this was a really good mole cave, and I was kind of upset that it was during like, like, hey, let me show like, you know, new runners how mole cave is, and it's like, here you go, free pass. And it's like, man, why couldn't this happen to my PB? Oh yeah, another good thing to remember is after the mole fights, make sure to heal the characters. Yeah, the guide RNG. But yeah, just use life up, get their HP back up to a good state. So that way, whenever you get into other mole fights, the characters don't die immediately. Video games. I think I thought about stutter stepping that snack, but I was like, nah, that's not smart. Like, wait, I'm doing a commentary guide. Right, exactly, Nightbox. Alright. So, here's where, oops, the backup strat will lie. There's an exit mouse here. We do pick it up. But, say for if some reason, like, Paula is dead or Jeff is dead and you want to revive them, you talk to that mouse first, you pick up the exit mouse, and then to the right here of this little fork, there's a secret herb. And it's an item that you can use to revive your character. It's not 100%, but you can use it. Like I said, if one of the characters are dead, try to use it at least. And that way you don't have to walk all the way back to the hospital. So after you use the secret herb, there's a spawn plate right here. That's 100%. So once it triggers, like it's gonna be near damn impossible to despawn any enemies here. Or, like, say if they spawn right here and, like, you want to try to run up here to the next mole, you just gotta be super careful, but I don't recommend it. So if you do use the exit mouse, you just have to make your way back up here to fight this mole. Or say if, like, one of the characters dies here, you can still use that, it's a backup strat. And if you feel like you need a heal, like, you can just go exit the cave, go back to the shack and, like, rest again, and then come back and all your characters will be fully healed. So, after the second mole, you don't get any big bottle rockets again. So you'd solely rely on Paula. So what you do is you queue up a life up on her, and then use a freeze beta and defend with Jeff. And so that way if the mole hits Paula, you're already gonna life her up. You're gonna recover her HP and she won't die. But after she gets hit, or like after the life up hits Paula, wait a little bit for her HP to go back up. So that way if like in the next turn, if the mole tries to strike Paula again, she won't die instantly or won't have like her health low from like having to go back up after using the life up alpha on her. So all you do, like I said, is heal Paula, freeze, defend. So then defend with Ness the next turn, and then freeze again and defend with Jeff. Like I said, heal. Make sure you guys heal. What's up, Toasty? Sorry about Dodrio. Also, there's these two presents. You're gonna want to pick that top one up. It is a picnic lunch, and that item is used for Monkey Cave. And then you want to pick up the exit mouse too. You can do it on the way back, like after fighting this mole. There's so many bosses in this game I don't understand. Yeah, it's an RPG, man. So the same thing with this mole as the previous one. Life up Paula, freeze, and defend. "24 hours of thunder missing." Yeah, that's gonna be Stadium. Alright, I'm gonna pause it again after this. Okay, so there's this present on the left. And say you did get into any extra encounters and Paula's low on psychic points. This little present right here has a PSI caramel, or caramel, however you pronounce it. And it replenishes 20 psychic points on whoever you use it on. So if you use it on Paula, she gets those 20 back. I guess I'll just explain some of the enemies too in this cave. Like I said, we bought that second refreshing herb for the thirsty coil snakes, they're called. You get into an encounter with them, they have a potential of hitting one of the characters with a poisonous bite. Or like, they use their fangs and the characters get poisoned, whatever the attack is called. So, the way to kill them instantly is use freeze beta. Like, that's it, they're dead. Another enemy that can poison you are the big yellow ants that you see. They sting you with their little tails, and one of the characters can get poisoned. They are also weak to freeze. Use freeze beta on them. Let's see, what else? There are the Nooseman and the duck. Those are the enemies that are probably a lot more scary than the ants and the snake. The Noosemen are very lethal. They're very dangerous. All they do is attack or coil you to where your characters can't move or take their turn. And then if they're paired with the ducks, I mean, the ducks aren't really scary, but they make you lose psychic points, because if they make something spin around, it has a chance of either affecting Paula or Ness. If it hits Paula, then she's going to lose those psychic points. So that's why I pointed out the PSI caramel right here. So if you like accidentally got into a fight and you feel like Paula could use more psychic points for like more fights, potential fights that you could get into, or for that final mole, then just pick it up and use it on her. I think that's it. So we'll continue. A lot. But it's better to inform you guys than to like not say anything. Yeah, get the eggs and mouse and then go pick up that picnic lunch. Also, for the Noosemen, they're weak to fire, so you can just use fire on them. What's next? Okay, yeah, I just got him stuck. Yeah, this is where, like, you're gonna be despawning a lot, because a lot of Noosemen and ducks will show up. There'll be, like, some snakes you can stutter past them or choose to despawn. It's up to you, really. But, I probably wouldn't do a 24-hour stream of just Pokemon Stadium. It's not really attention heavy, so, like, if I do runs, I'd probably just fall asleep at, like, hour 16. Alright, so here's the final mall, and it's basically the same thing as the previous two. Life of Paula, Freeze Beta, Defend, and then Freeze Beta one more time. And that's it from Mall Cave. We're gonna start doing some stuff here. We're gonna pick up the bottom present. It's gonna have a platinum band, and we're gonna equip it to Ness. Here we're gonna start throwing stuff away and also moving items to Paula. So, like, whatever equipment you have, just toss it out, because they're not gonna do any good at this point. Like, sure, you'll probably do a little bit more damage, but it won't be as much. So, like, throw away Ness's Sandlot bat, whatever, like, if Paula has the cheap bracelet, the hard hat, or the Holmes hat, throw those out. And the pop gun and the Holmes hat for Jeff too as well. It's because we're gonna do some shopping, and we're gonna want spaces on the characters in order to get the items for, like, the next few boss fights. So what you wanna give Paula, it's gonna be, let's see, mainly just 2 items, and they're on Jeff. It's the Bad Key Machine and the pack of bubblegum. So you're just gonna move those over to Paula, and you're gonna equip Ness with the platinum band. And that's gonna give him more defense. Oh, you can also toss out that refreshing herb if you still have it. Alrighty, Tall. I'm sure that it's gonna make you feel better, no doubt. Don't throw away the ruler, and don't throw away the protractor, and we'll see why. The ruler is gonna be for Monkey Cave, so never toss that out. And the protractor we're gonna give to a kid to talk to Everdread. So yeah, after you do all that menuing, you just use the eggs and mouse and the hell out of here. And there's another Fuzzy Pickles! Yay! Fuzzy Pickles. What's up, Navi? I'll not say hello to you. Sorry. Just laughed at the popcorn emo. Oh yeah, you have to talk to him too, by the way, because if you don't, then you don't get the diamond. Make sure to heal here too. Because this next segment is gonna be kind of unforgiving as well. So yeah, after you heal, you can just make your way to Foresight again. And if any of the characters get a sunstroke, just use Healing Alpha, and it'll cure them. I accidentally used a beta because I kept holding right. Let's see, I think we're about halfway done with this segment, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so now after we get the diamond, we can go back to the theater, we just buy another show ticket, and then give it to the lady. And like the man, or the manager in the Chaos Theater, you have to go behind the desk to give the item. Jesus Christ, Kane, you've gifted way too many subs. Thank you for gifting Navi a sub. I appreciate it. Also, like, if you want to disable that, you can do it in your settings, so it doesn't, like, show how many you've given. That's all up to you. Okay, we should probably scroll down on the splits again. Forgot about that. Yeah, so it's from... Well, I mean, we were at Belch's base, so it's this segment until the Shroom trip. Just the Shroom fight, the Sanctuary bosses. And this cutscene is, it's a forced cutscene. You have to watch it, or you can't exit the building and continue. Yeah, the kids will totally let their... Such a happy music. Happy music. Such a happy song is what I meant, and I can't English, because I can't think. This is what happens when you speedrun. Don't do it, guys. It's a trap. Alright, so after the show, we make our way to department store, and this is where the first, heavy shopping begins. It's basically we're just gonna be buying a bunch of, big bottle rockets and super bombs. For Jeff and, for Paula to carry, and the super bombs as well for Ness to use in the next, boss fights, the two boss fights. One is the department store spook who kidnaps Paula, and then the next one will be Manny Manny in Moonside. Oh, and here we can sell that one band that we ended up getting in, Threed Cave. Excuse me. With the silver bracelet, there it is. That's it. So yeah, the original strat for super bombs were, I believe, 4-3-4, so... or it was 4-3-5, something like that. So Ness would get 4 super bombs, Paula would get 3, and then Jeff would get 5, and then fill up the rest of his inventory with big bottle rockets. And then Paula, I think it was like 5 big bottle rockets or 4 on her as well. But, if you have more room than 4, 3, and then 5, like, maybe get 5 for Ness too, and then get 5 for Paula, and then just, like, maybe 4 for Jeff, because he's more or less gonna be using the big bottle rockets versus the super bombs. And make sure to fill up Paula with big bottle rockets too, like the rest of her inventory. So it'll be like half-half. But yeah, guess I should have said that before, but like before you make your way up to this man, you have to take out $9,000 or take out $10,000 from the ATM machine. Almost sober. Again, I'm not actually using it for this. Sorry about the squeaky chair. So yeah, once you're all settled up, you can go back to the first floor and make sure to save. This is another safety save because the enemies here are also big bullies and can kill you. What's up, Griggs? Good morning. How are you doing? Okay, you're not muted, or I'm not muted. Welcome back, Dragon. Are you having fun? So yeah, for those who are tuning in today, it's kind of, not really speedrunning. It's more just making a guide for new runners who want to pick up this game. I'll resume speedrunning tomorrow. So, there is a rare occasion where spawns will show up in the second floor, or the third floor, I guess. But, it's always gonna be on the second and fourth floor of department store, so you have to be careful. If you do end up dying, all you have to do is say no, like, don't continue, because if you do continue and you respawn at the bottom where you saved, enemies are gonna spawn there, and then it's just a disaster. So if it asks for you to continue, say no, and then say yes to being sure, and then just reload your file, and then go through department store again. That's good, Griggs. I'm doing alright. Thank you for asking. Alright, Dragon, that's fine. So this encounter is really bad. That guitar you see is called the Musica. Okay, I need to rewind that though. Oh no, he did use the super bomb. It went off, but it didn't kill any of the records. Okay. But yeah, there's the Musica, and he can play the haunting melody, which puts your characters to sleep. What I recommend is trying to get them out first. So like, if you fight these enemies, if there's 3 of them, even if there's 2, use a super bomb on the one to the left, and then a super bomb on the one to the right. And what super bombs do in this game, they create a splash damage, so like whoever's around them, they're gonna get damaged too. So, if you hit it with the first record, it's gonna hit the middle one, and then if you use the super bomb on the Musica, it's gonna hit the record in the middle again. But yeah, this fight is just really mean. It's mainly because of the guitar's fault. So like, the most you can do here is just let them like murder your characters and then restart your file, or try to do what I do and run away. That was a lot of fun. I think I actually escaped. Yep. So, yeah, if, like, you are able to escape, like, you can still win this fight with just Ness. Make sure you heal yourself and use super bombs and use rock and beta, and be careful with your health, too, because he'll use fire, freeze, and, those both do a significant amount of damage to Ness. especially that freeze. And before I yell at you. So, if you run low on super bombs here, just go talk to the army man and go buy more super bombs. See, I should have healed there, but I didn't. Okay, that's what happened. So yeah, you just say no, don't continue, and then say yes, I'm sure, or it's okay. And I'm gonna try not to yell at you. So yeah, you can just load up your file again, and then you have to do everything. But I guess I was depending on that rockin' to do more than 115 damage, but it didn't. It gave you nightmares? No, Ian, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was... oh man. You kept trying to continue though, so props to you. Hope the rest of your night went well. So yeah, I think on this round we just fought the 2 records. So yeah, like I said, use a super bomb on one and then super bomb on the other, and it'll create a splash damage. And then they both should die. Nah, he just gifted Navi. So yeah, again, make sure your characters are at full health. You can use fire and freeze. So if you do have Jeff, well, I guess it's a good thing that I did end up dying, because now we have another method of like doing the fight. If you do have Jeff, use a big bottle rocket with him and a super bomb with Ness. And if for some reason that doesn't kill him, just use another big bottle rocket with Jeff. Is that the new fuzzy emote? Aw, that one's cute. So after you kill him, like I said, you feel like you're too low on super bombs, just go buy more. No, he's had that name. He's never switched it. Ralph Polly is a new friend and, I guess semi-recent new viewer. I talked to him a bunch, and I got to know Navi and Nylum, and Griggs and Stivvy's chat. Stivity Bobo, if you guys don't know who he is, you should definitely check him out. Alright, so yeah, after department store shenanigans and dying multiple times, you make your way to the cafe. So you just head down past the museum and then head up left, or up right, no. Is it up? No, it is up left, okay. And you talk to this lady, and you go back outside. And this is why you don't want to throw away the protractor. There's this kid right here. He's gonna say, oh, like, I'll let you cut if you give me an item. So you just give it to him because you have no other use for it. And this is another instance of, like, where a character is like, hey, do you want to hear the story again? And you just press B and select, or mash B and select so you don't accidentally say yes. And, sit here for, like, 10 minutes. Wondering why you can't continue. I love that Pikachu. Oh, it is Fuzzies. So So after that, all you have to do is go behind the counter and check, press the L button. If you get too close to the man, you're just gonna end up talking to him. I don't know why I went into my inventory. But yeah, I just stayed to the right. There's this enemy right here. There is a chance to skip it, but only if he goes down and then right to the chair / table and he gets stuck there. So if he does that, you can just walk out the door. If you get into an encounter, there are 2 options you can do. Just try to run away, and the other one is just use the big bottle rocket and kill him off. But if you feel like you want to save your big bottle rocket, just try to run away. It's not really too dangerous. It takes like 4 turns until he actually attacks, 3 or 4. And then, yeah, you'll have plenty of big bottle rockets on Paula to give Jeff later too, so you can always just do that method. So here we were able to dodge him. You have to be careful in Moonside because there are a lot of enemies that can spawn. So here we're gonna start talking to these guys, and they're just gonna help us move around faster in Moonside, and they're just gonna teleport us to different spots. So the first one you talk to, you see these guys in like the Hawaiian attire shirts. You talk to the top one, this guy right here, like right next to Ness, and he's gonna send you to the bottom. So you talk to this man, and he's gonna be like, well, you can't get past me because, you know, you need the guy with the gold tooth and who has the connected eyebrows. I think here we fought the Dally Clock. Yeah, because I was trying to despawn those flames, and then it chased after me. Boop. Yeah, if you get into any encounters, just use the big bottle rocket. So then afterwards, you just head up like, towards the hospital, and you talk to that man. So it's always the hula man. Him. So right outside the hospital. It's the second one you talk to. He sends you down here, and you open this present. You don't have to go towards it. You just press the L button, and you get a night pendant. Make sure it's on Ness and equip it to him. Because what the night pendant does, it protects you from flash attacks. So like, he can't get paralyzed. No, he can get paralyzed. He can't get the effects from being like used with flash. So, you know, like feeling funky or just randomly dying, cause that's fun. When am I gonna play Banjo? I should probably do that this weekend. I was thinking about it. But it equips on the body, but yeah, like Ness didn't have any room, so I just gave the pencil eraser to Jeff. It's the ocean man. He takes you by the hand and leads you to the land. And then you talk to that guy near the present, and then you just talk to this one. And then up here, we're gonna get a secret herb. And what's another thing about secret herbs, they don't just revive, they heal paralysis. So if the Manny Manny statue here in Moonside, he paralyzes either Ness or Jeff, you can just use the secret herb. So say like if Jeff has it, then he can use it on Ness. But if Jeff is paralyzed, you can't use any items. So you pick it up, and then there's no Hula Man again. So you talk to this guy, and you have to tell him no, because in Moonside, yes means no, and no means yes. So when he asks, like, shall I, you tell him no, and then he's like, okay, then goodbye. And then he sends you in the room of, like, the invisible man with the connecting eyebrows and the golden tooth. So he says, can you see me? And you have to say no to him, too. Earthbound is better than BK, dang. Remember Dragon was like, Yuna, pick up that game. I was like, I'll think about it. So yeah, after that, just kind of make your way out. You can save here if you want. It's not really too bad, but if you die to Manny Manny, then you just have to revive Jeff in the hospital and heal at the hotel. So again, talk to that guy. There's gonna be 3 of them. Talk to the one in the middle, and he'll teleport you back down. You mean isn't disturbing? No, it's all of the game that's pretty much disturbing. So, you can just talk to the statue. You have to, like, be a little high up. But if you accidentally talk to Monotali, it's not that big of a deal. It's just he's gonna be like, no, it wasn't me, I swear! And then, like, he disappears, and then you get to talk to the statue. So this is the Mani fight. There are some things you can do. Like I said, he can use paralysis on Jeff, and if he does, and Ness has the secret herb, you can use it on him, and that way he can use items again. Besides being able to paralyze, he attacks and uses a magnet, and I think he does the green light effect, which takes away like all like PSI power-ups that were used, like shields, basically. Let's see. So what you can do, like if he paralyzes Ness, just queue up a Rockin' and then use a big bottle rocket with Jeff. So that way, like, Ness's turn doesn't go wasted. Like, if you use a Rockin' and he uses paralysis, like, it'll still go through. But if he uses paralysis on Ness and you try to use a super bomb, like, he won't be able to because his body's too numb. Now, see, nakedness is only in the Japanese version, in Mother 2 and Magic Hint. So by the end of this fight, though, excuse me, you want to have 4 super bombs, 2 on Ness and 2 on Jeff, and it's going to be for the reason of clumsy robot inside a Monotali building. On the safe side, you might want 5, just because they can do pretty low damage rolls. Yeah, exactly, Ian. What about what? He's never partially naked. He's always in his jammies or in his clothes. Alright, so you get the call from Apple Kid, and all you have to do is head out and talk to this monkey that, like, bunks into the wall. Back in the 50s. Well, I mean, you're right. What? Really tall? Wonder why that is. Maybe they're like, well, we didn't profit off these flights, so they're cheaper now. Please buy them. Yeah, and then this is the delivery guy that was supposed to give you that trout machine, but he's like, left it in the desert. Why don't you go get it, you lazy motherfucker? Like, well, alright, cool. Careful of crazy people. But yeah, you don't have to walk back to the desert. You can just take this bus right here, and he'll tell you if you want to get off in the desert and just say yes. And you'll be right at the bottom of Monkey Cave. So, this is where all of those items I told you to pick up, they're gonna be used now. And I'll make, like, a little paste bin for, like, items and I guess, like, more questions or just answering some other questions and having, like, techniques and backups for the run, too. And that'll be in, like, all of the descriptions for the videos, for the different segments. You know, it's like the music in this game is super happy. Oh yeah, I guess I should talk about this. So, if you did drop the ruler, or you gave it to the kid instead of the protractor, you can go back to Tucson, and in the park, you remember all those people in there? It's basically like, it's a little shop. Like, you can go to different people and buy different things, and there's a kid who sells a ruler for, like, I think $2 or $4, somewhere around that range, and so yeah, you can buy it, and you're gonna have to use it for Monkey Cave, or you need it for Monkey Cave. So again, we do that same method of walking so we can get rid of the mole. And into Monkey Cave we go. So we're gonna go into this room, and we're gonna talk to the two monkeys and give them their items. And we're gonna go to the room on the left to pick up the pizza first. So this one wants the skip sandwich. And then this one wants the picnic lunch. So you go in that room first, pick up the pizza, and then head back. Were you there, Dragon, when I accidentally took the bus to Tucson? Alright, and then there's these monkeys. You give them both their items, the protein drink, and then I'm pretty sure the other one is the one that wants the pizza. Yeah. So you go into the room to the right. And then you pick up this chest, and it has a hamburger. And it's for another monkey. And head all the way to the left, and this is the monkey that wants the roller. And then you talk to this monkey in here, and she gives you a king banana. Good, because that's when the weather gets really nice. Then you head back out, head out of this room, and then go to the left. Oh, it's one more room. Excuse me. What? Now we head to the... And then there's gonna be the two monkeys. You give this one the king banana. And then the other one wants a hamburger. And you go behind his, and you're gonna go pick up an item called the Bag of Dragonite. And this is gonna be saved for, until Magic Hit. You'll see when we get there. And remember that pencil eraser that I told you, or well, I didn't tell you to keep it, but you better have kept it and not gave it to Paula, because we need it now. I gave it to Jeff. Forgot. It's like, where is it? Panic! So here we talk to the monk, and then he asks if you want to learn teleportation. You tell him yes, then talk to the monkey and follow him back outside. And then there are these two items that you want to pick up. One is a brain food lunch, which restores HP and psychic points, and the other one's a cup of life noodles, which revives a character, and also heals a character when they're diamondized. The brain food lunch isn't necessary, but I highly, highly, highly recommend that cup of life noodles. And the brain food lunch, if you don't pick it up here, there's one you can get with, Pooh. Prince Pooh. Yeah, you have to be careful with these enemies, because, even if they're running away from you, and for some reason, if the space is too tight and you run into them, it's just gonna be a blue swirl, so it's gonna be a forced encounter. So you just make your way back out of Monkey Cave again. And here, when we exit, you want to go right a little bit, and then go left to talk to the monkey, and that's gonna despawn the mole. And just follow him down, and he'll teach you teleport. And, once you teleport, make sure you don't run or bonk into anything, because if you do, then he's gonna be like, here, I'll give you the demonstration again, and then he's gonna be like, now you try again. So once you learn teleport, you can head back to Forsyth. Alright, so once we get here, go to Monotali building, and remember to talk to her. Because, if you don't talk to her, then you can't get up to rescuing Paula again. And you might want to save here, and that's just for the sake of, like, if you fight too many sentry robots, or if your super bombs don't kill Clumsy Robot. So that Skip Sandwich DX we picked up earlier in 3 Cave is now going to be used, and it's going to be for avoiding the robots. So we just go through this elevator and head to the right and take the next one. So before you enter the next room, you're going to want to use a skip sandwich. So this part can be a little difficult. It's mainly just practicing execution. So once you use the skip sandwich, you're going to want to run straight, like left a little bit, and then go up and try to hit that door as quickly as possible. Like go into that door, because if you don't, then you're going to fight that sentry robot. And if you do get into an encounter with it, just use a big bottle rocket on him. So you'll see the movement right now. And then you run straight. And then in this part, right here, there's that one bot that waits outside for you. You don't have to worry about him. It's this other bot that you do. He's called the RNG bot. For a reason, it's because he can either spawn very close to the door, or he can be super far away from it. If he spawns close to the door, you have a chance of squeezing in, but that depends if he gets aggroed or not. If he does, then he's immediately just gonna chase after you. If he does, there is a way to avoid him. It's not 100% guaranteed, but you can run down and then run left and then squeeze past him through the other door that's next to him. But again, if you fight him, use a big bottle rocket. So I was lucky enough to where he wasn't aggravated. And here you just squeeze through the desk underneath and then up top. It's not as easy. Sometimes you get stuck and you kind of have to wiggle. And then you just book it! Book it up again. Okay. So we're gonna discuss Clumsy Robot real quick too. Like I said, you need 4 super bombs. 5 is a pretty safe number though, so I just suggest you have 5 of them. Super bombs, their damage, they can range from like 160, 180 to, let's see, around high 300. So say if all 4 of your super bombs hit, for only like 180 damage, he's not gonna die. And, so he has a potential of killing you. So if that is the case, like hopefully you have that other super bomb. If not, there is a backup. He has a PSI shield, so psychic attacks can't hurt him. So what you want to do is use Rockin' 3 times and then paralysis. Use paralysis because he's open to paralysis. And there are items or equipment you can buy for Ness and Jeff in department store. So it's your choice whether you want to do this. So if you bought the equipment and you used paralysis on him, just use auto fight and they'll basically just bash it out until Clumsy Robot or not Clumsy Robot dies, but until like his health reaches to that point where the Runaway 5 come in and just shut him down. So these were, I'm pretty sure they were good ranges. I think the only thing that happened was, yeah, he solidified Ness. Oh my god, Dragon. So yeah, like another thing, I guess people get confused or like worried about is, sometimes Clumsy Robot will like eat a bologna sandwich or something and it'll say his HP maxed out. It doesn't actually happen, like he doesn't gain all of his HP back. So just keep using the super bombs or attacking him. So here you just walk towards Monotoli, and then he's like, please, I'll give you back the girl. And then you chase after him, talk to him again, and then, Paula joins the party. Or comes back to the party, at least. And then Monotoli is another person who just tells you a story and then asks, do you want to hear it again? So make sure you're hitting B and select through his text. Okay though, Dragon, because, you know, this chat doesn't show up or isn't gonna show up in YouTube. It'll only be on the Twitch VODs. You wish it did. See, I was thinking of, like, having the Twitch chat on the split screen, but I was like, no, I'll just have my splits up. What's up, Reloads? Welcome back. And there's Porky, everyone's favorite best friend, who steals the helicopter. Or the helo. Whoa, excuse me, the helocopter. Not mean for that to happen. So after that, you just head on back. And Paula has the vision of needing to go back to Threed. So the Runaway 5 basically just take you there. Yeah, when I did these recordings yesterday, I was like, yeah, I'd totally knock all of this out in like 8 hours. I'm like looking at it and I was like, well, no, I definitely needed more time than that. They got cheese pizza flavored Cheez-Its. Interesting. Are they good? They're okay. Are the regular ones better? I like this lady. She's like, can you give me the Runaway 5's autograph? And if you say yes or no, she's like, I didn't mean you're silly. It's like, you bitch. The Tabasco ones, I haven't tried those. Definitely have to give them a shot. I played Sensu for like an hour and call me a hater because I'm not a fan. Bless you, Rajka. God. Sounds like too much cheese, right? But yeah, make sure you don't have to talk to them, you just have to get on the bus. And they're like, alright, let's get going. What's up, Wiz? Hope you're doing well today. Oh, whoops. I mean, it's kind of family friendly. I'm dropping a few curse words, but it's not like as much as I would like doing runs. So you know. What's up, Nels? How are you? No, you guys can curse, by all means. Like, I curse on a daily basis, especially when I stream or speedrun. Just do anything in general, really. It's just, right now I'm kind of keeping it to myself. Or, like, this is why I did, like, the recordings first, so, like, I wouldn't be cursing all the time, but you guys go nuts. I don't care. There's these cheeses to my tummy. Alright, there you go. Perfect. Exactly, no. They're internal. Alright, so here, when you head up, don't go to the center of the tent, because it's a Fuzzy Pickles trigger. So you just stay down and then head up. Nappy. I mean, if it's about Stivy, then by all means, go ahead. Or Nylum, or Ian. Or even Dwagon. Dragon's good streamer. So here we just, go up to the Skyrunner, and then he fixes it. Stiv has a smelly face. There, I said it. Dang. I wonder, did the emote get approved? Oh, it didn't yet! Dang it, I'm so sad. So now we head to Winners, and, this is basically, we have to fight Shroom, or we can't continue. Kane has a lot of quotes. I, never realized that. Until we see how many quotes he actually has. Pick out one. Which one was my favorite? No, I don't. Are you sure? Let's see. Alright, well that's a good one. Yeah, Earthbound has very nice music. It's like super happy, positive. You can dance to it if you'd like. Alright, let's... No, you did the 240s. Quote... Alright, 193 it is. Ow. Dance. Alright, I'm gonna do like Mario from Superstar Saga. He's like pushing his butt out. I know! It's because Kane says like a lot of stupid stuff, but it's funny. What's this part? I don't like this part either. I don't like any of the parts. Dude, Resident Evil's scary. I thought I was doing a run. I was like, where's my controller? And there's Bubble Monkey and the waifu that he chased earlier, who's now his actual waifu because they got married. So here you can save, you don't have to, but Shroom is kind of scary, and it's for the fact that he can, like, throw mushrooms on the characters, and, I explained this earlier with, like, the regular mushrooms that you encounter in Tucson. When they scatter the spores, your characters will start feeling funky, and they can either hurt you, like any of the teammates, or, heal the enemies instead of healing themselves or any of the characters. So what you want to do is like use super bombs, like if Ness has another super bomb, use it. Use a super bomb with Paula and then a big bottle rocket with Jeff. No, he did have one. So even if he does like scatter the spores, don't be afraid to use another big bottle rocket. Use fire with Paula. Or if you have more than like 4 super bombs, go ahead and use another one. And then just rock him with Ness. Kept doing low rolls. I was real upset about that. And then just finish it off with the fire. That's if he didn't heal himself. If he did life up, then I suggest using a super bomb instead of fire with Paula. Oh my god, I don't remember Kane saying that. He's here for bubblegum and waifus, and he's all out of bubblegum. Yeah, it's because you kept the pack of bubblegum. Okay, he's probably chewing on the same one still. Alright, so here we go, collect another sanctuary, heal, and then we're gonna head down to Dr. Anonet's lab again. And he's gonna fix the Skyrunner to where we can take it to Summers. Here we can use teleport, but it's to avoid, like, enemies, because there's gonna be a lot more cavemen that spawn, and along with the cavemen are gonna be bears. So, like, we just exit the cave, and then, when we get to the left, make sure there's an opening, and use teleport, and just bonk on the wall, and then continue heading down. Man, Kane is all about that donkey butt. DK better hide. But yeah, you just talk to him again, and he's like, oh, you're his friends. Well, he still wets his bed sometimes, but I mean, he's still a good boy. Like, it won't break again, maybe. Ian, those emotes are so good. You have to mash again, too. Hi, Lumpy, what's up? Did you know that you are wonderful? Please, you're wonderful. I love you, Lumpy. How's it going? A good Germo quote. Shoutouts to Germo. Alright, so yeah, once we land in Summers, basically gonna be it for this segment. I wanted to keep these next few parts short because this is where it gets pretty execution heavy. It's from the Kraken split to Starman's. Okay, you can't see the arrow cursor. I'll probably make videos for Pyramid and Stonehenge. Deep Darkness as well, because these areas are very, like I said, they're a little intense, and you have to practice execution and like how to avoid enemies and which fights to take, because if you don't, then it's gonna be horrible. So that does it for this segment, which was what? Oh yeah, Belch's base to Summers. So we'll continue on the next. See you there.